for $50? I don't know. It's so inconsistent. It's only now and then. Okay. Is it not? Is it okay now?
It's good.
Yeah. Okay, so the goal for this channel, and we're starting, is, I guess there's two things. The first thing is for me to be as much of myself as possible. Now that Bitcoin has climbed to over 60 and I'm able to afford a producer.
Hello.
Is able to get Jackie here to kind of basically do the role of what Jamie does for Joe Rogan, very similar. And much like Jamie, you will not see Jackie on screen. I know Jamie has popped into screen occasionally, like it's a once every 50 episode type thing, or it's quite rare.
But we won't be doing that.
Yeah, Jackie's not gonna appear on screen ever because you
don't want to see me.
Yeah, it's rough,
to put it mildly.
The last time we actually tried, and when I was interviewing for potential producers, and I was recording those, and when I had the camera on for Jackie, the camera broke. Now, I'm not gonna say that's because of Jackie's face, which is, I've got Jackie wearing a bag right now because I can't. I would lose all concentration and I would be unable to continue with this because of how. Have you ever seen the reenactments or descriptions of the 1920s early days freak shows on the boardwalk where there'd be like the bearded woman and then the strong man and all of that? But there would also be some anomalies, some strange people that are just like, whoa, holy crap, elephant man type thing. Jackie makes those people look like beauty pageant contestants. So I'm not going to say that it was in fact Jackie's face that broke the camera, but it was a strange coincidence. Anyhow, the goal for this show is for me to be myself as much as possible, and that's going to include a lot of swearing. It's going to include me saying things about people that you might like, and I'm saying things that are negative about those people. It might include, I don't know what it's going to include, but it's going to be me unfiltered. And I've seen maybe once or twice a couple people say, hey, you should do your own thing. So here I am doing my own thing. Second goal is not to get views. If it gets a bunch of views, yay. And I will feel positively about that. I'm not going to feel bad if this gets a shit ton of views.
But you're not saying the goal is to not get views.
Yeah.
It's just one of your goals is not necessarily getting views.
Right. Instead of views, I would much rather have fans. And what I mean by that is I would much rather see 5 or 10-ish people that I recognize showing up in the comments saying, hey, saying something. Maybe if inside jokes arise naturally over the course of doing this, things that I say, voices that I come up with. I have no idea where this is going to go, but it's going to be Bitcoin focused-ish. That's going to be the anchor point. If ever there's an episode where I'm not talking about Bitcoin and I'm primarily talking about the latest bullshit nonsense coming out of Disney or some video that came out, then something went awry. Now, I will probably talk about latest happenings and cultural things and some new movie that Marvel put out that maybe I went and saw, possibly, I don't know. I'm probably going to go see Wolverine Deadpool because I like both of those characters. I like both of those actors as those characters. And I will then somehow mention Bitcoin, or if Bitcoin comes up in the movie, I'll definitely talk about that. And if you ever want to get in here, Jackie, it's not like a Jamie type thing. By all means, just get in.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, good. Well, we did cover that in the interview, but so the focus of today's episode is going to be on this. You're going to see me do this a lot. You're going to see me pause before I say things because I'm collecting exactly how I want to say what it is I want to say. And the difficulty that I have talking about this movie is I don't have the vocabulary easily accessible to say what I want to say about this movie. I fucking hated everything about pretty much everyone that was cast as a good guy in the movie. Despise what they were saying to the core of my being. Fucking loathsome, despicable, horrible, disgusting, foul, self-entitled, self-righteous Terry Karens to the nth fucking degree. Absolute horrendous, beyond describable, disgusting individuals. And yet, I would not wish any ill will towards any of them. Truly. I really don't. I really actually don't. All I want for them, if I could have my wish, if I had a genie here and he says, hey, I will grant you one wish regarding the people that were in that movie, the Stephanie Kelton, the Randall Ray, the cast of MMTers. I can grant you one wish. What would it be? It would not be for them to step on a Lego piece. It would not be for a pie to get flung in their face. It would not be for anything negative like that at all. It would be for them to have a dream or some sort of epiphany where they go, oh, we're fucking idiots. And this is why we're idiots. I get it now. I get it.
And you are talking, of course, about the movie.
Yeah, I thought I mentioned that.
You didn't say
Finding the money. And what most people have probably seen, if you're on Bitcoin Twitter at all, you've probably seen the clip of, do I have it handy? Let me see here. This one, I've got it in my notes here, going through. Here it is. Bum, bum, bum. Come on, guy. Where you at? This right here. Come on, computer. There we go. Where he is. Where's my. There we go. Hold on. There we go. This dumb fuck. Well, this one also too, with her horrendous hairstyle. But primarily this guy, Jared Bernstein, talking about what we do is we buy and then
they sell bonds. They sell bonds, right? Because they sell bonds.
So I give speech lessons to Biden, and I'm his vocal coach, which is why he speaks so eloquently. And he and I went to the same school as thought. And is that what we do? No, we say the words, and words are how talking. So, putting sentences are a thing, and people write sentences, paragraphs, words, punctuation. Could I get a coffee? Is that could we? Because somebody could it.
And this, of course, you can see here, is the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors.
Well, I clicked away, but yeah, this is the guy that. Is that what it says there? Chair? Yeah, right down there in the bottom. I guess let me get rid of my face here. There you go. Jared Bernstein, chair of the Council of Economic Advisors. So he's the chair of the council. He's the head guy of the economic advisors for President Joseph Biden. So this is the top dog for economic advisors to the most eloquent, brilliant, just highest IQ president that we've ever had. I'm being facetious. Jesus fucking Christ. No fucking shit. I'm being facetious here. Like, if that's not obvious, then get your head checked. Okay, so let's get into the problems with this movie, starting with this clip right here. And I don't have sound, so you're gonna have to tell me what they're talking. Well, I have text here. So okay, let's watch this little thing here.
Their -10 is matched by a +10 on somebody else.
So real quick. There was about I don't remember exactly when this showed up in the movie, at what time stamp, but there was close to 40 to 50, maybe 60 minutes where they're leading up to this. This whole inverse mirror kind of thing is. Can you give me the poster of the movie? Find the poster.
Yeah, I can find that.
Using two hands might be better. Just lay it. Yeah, that's fine. It's the whole idea of the movie, and they spend 60 odd minutes getting to this point, and the music continually builds up as they get close to this, and then it dies away as they go on and meander off on some other thought, and then they come back to it, and it's like they're acting as though they have discovered fire for the first time in human history. They're acting as though, and when I say they, I mean Stephanie Kelton and Randall Way and the other cast of characters, the clown car of buffoons, acting as though they have just discovered how gravity works and why it is, or how light works, or electricity for the first time. They're acting as though this is the most profound discovery since ever. And all they've done... Do you have the image for me?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Oh, okay. Gotta tell me. All right, so here's the... How do I make it big? Whatever. No, that's not the one. That's not it. It's the one where it's black and white. It's like this one. Yeah, that shit right there. There we go. Get that to me. Send it on over. And they make it, like I said, this big... What's going on? Just send me the link. There it is. Why can't I open it? What the hell's going on? What in the world? Folks, there's going to be problems. Guaranteed. No, that's not what I want to do.
I sent you a link.
There we go. Okay, here it is. So this is the whole image, this right here. Like, oh, look, if you look at it one way, it's red, but if you put it in a mirror, it's the other way. Whoa, holy smokes, we discovered how we found that we did it. We found the grand unified theory of everything, and we now can answer the question of the meaning of life. We've got it here.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, this big reveal happens at least halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
If not beyond.
If not beyond. And so Stephanie's up there on stage and going like, look, the deficit is actually a surplus for everyone else. So here it is.
So my
red ink is your black ink.
That graph is really the one that when I show...
Oh, I'm not even... Hang on. Whoa, got to go back. I didn't even have it over. Here we go.
On somebody else's balance sheet. So my red ink is your...
Can you hear it?
Black ink. That graph is really the one that when I show it to
oh my God,
it changes everything. So when you see
I love this right here. The best shot of the crowd they could get was this gal just like, the fuck are you saying? They're all just kind of like,
seems like she's thinking something about this doesn't seem
bitch
right.
What are you smoking? The fuck are you just saying? Like, I'm not an economic mastermind, but everything you're saying is dumb. And I'm going to give you a couple examples here that even crayon-eating fool pants-on-head retards can figure out what I mean here. Here's Stephanie. Mastermind stealthy. Watch this. Look what she's going to do here. Check it out. Oh, hold on. Oh, if we... Get ready. Here it comes.
What a magician.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Whoa. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God. Okay. Here is why that is some of the most retarded monkey fucking bullshit that I have ever seen in my entire life. And it gets better from here, or worse. This is like going into the store in the middle of the COVID wackiness, the toilet paper shortages across at least the US. I don't know how it was in the rest of the world. But you go into the store. The shelves are empty. You want toilet paper. You've got a few rolls still at home, but you don't have a lot. You definitely don't have a surplus of toilet paper. So you show up to the store. You see the shelves. There's no toilet paper. Not a single roll to be had. And then Stephanie jumps out of the bushes and she goes, there isn't a toilet paper shortage. There's a surplus out there in the private sector. Your neighbors have some. The guy down the street has some. Local businesses have some. Other people have the toilet paper. Isn't that incredible? Somebody has the toilet paper. And you're standing there going, you dumb fucking cunt. I know they have the toilet paper. That's why the shelves are empty. You stupid, ignorant fucking bitch. How does this help me? I have a dirty ass, or will in the not so distant future, given what I just ate for lunch, if you know what I mean. And I'm going to need to wipe my booty. And I only have so much toilet paper, and I would like to increase my surplus. How does telling me that the store shelves aren't really empty, that's just one way to look at it. If we look at it another way, people have the toilet paper. No fucking shit. No fucking shit, you stupid fucking piece of useless trash. You're just saying the image in the mirror is a reflection of what's on the other side of the mirror. Oh, holy shit. Oh my god. GIF of the dudes, the black guys around like, holy shit. Who fucking cares? Let's equate this to money. Yeah, we know there's 34 trillion dollars of deficit, and we know that money went somewhere. The problem, Stephanie, is that the everyday person doesn't have any piece of that. The everyday person is worse off now than they were 20 odd years ago, 30 years ago. In 2013, 14, 15-ish, 10 years ago, the deficit was half of what it is now. It was $17 trillion. It has doubled in 10 years. Okay.
And how long did it take to get to 17 trillion? Wasn't it something like 200 years?
A long time. Yeah, like I guess since the U.S. government started, I guess. So 100% increase in the amount of deficit. Has your life improved 100%? Do you have twice as much living space? Not only is it twice as much living space, but is it twice as good? Has every aspect of your life improved 100%? Because if the answer is no, and I'm guessing for a lot of people it is no, and for even other people the answer is no, it's actually deteriorated. I have less in savings. I don't have more. I don't have any more. I'm actually worse off than I was. Well, hang on a second, Stephanie, why did that happen? What the heck is going on here? Where did all the money go? Well, it's a surplus. Yeah, we know it's a surplus, but for who? That's the question. That's what she doesn't uncover. At no point is the word quintillion mentioned. At no point is politicians being close to the money printer and their friends being close to that, and the assets, the hard assets, the homes, the land, the yachts, the etc., the business, the equities in different businesses. At no point do they mention that. Never does it come up.
Another word that isn't mentioned is the word fiat.
Yeah, I don't think that's said a single time. If it is, it's just kind of in a sentence somewhere, but it is not really pressed home. No, they say again and again, Randall Wray is a huge proponent of this, that money does not exist without governments. Bullshit. Fiat money doesn't exist without governments. But they come around saying like, oh, barter systems didn't exist. Here's what actually happened, you dummies. People were going around life, twiddling their thumbs, sitting on their butts. They were doing nothing. They were dying because they would be born. We're not really sure how their parents were even there in the first place, but people came into existence and then they would sit on their asses doing nothing. No, truly, this is their claim. They don't say it in so many words, but this is basically what they're saying. People did nothing until government. Where did it come from? Don't know. Government. And then government, you gotta spend first before you tax, they say again and again and again, made money. And then the government put that into the system and then at gunpoint said, you have to pay us the things that we just gave you. Randall Wray in this talk that one of these MMT fuckwits sent to me, and I watched the whole thing. I doubt he would watch an entire video that I sent him. Maybe he would. I don't know. But sent me this whole Randall Ray talk. The guy, Randall Ray, says, it's like Joe. Joe's got a pizza shop, all right? And Joe prints out free pizza coupons. And then he gives them out to the neighborhood and people in the area and his community. And then they show up and they redeem those for pizzas. What the fuck is Joe's problem? Why the fuck would Joe do that? It doesn't explain Joe's thinking here. It's just like, this is what government does. Wait a minute. Hold on. So Joe takes the time and the energy to buy the ingredients for the pizza and set up shop and get this whole business operation going and all the things that go along with setting up a business and getting that running, which is no small feat. He's got to go and do that. Okay, now he's got flour and pepperoni and cheese and pasta sauce and marinara and oregano for that, and he's sitting there and he's making up the sauce because he wants to have, like, why would he get into the pizza business if he didn't want it to succeed? So he wants to make it succeed, and then he's sitting there and he's going, how am I going to generate customers? How am I going to get people to come in here? How am I going to do that? Well, I know. Holy shit, Joe, you're a fucking genius. I'm going to print out coupons. Yeah, I know it's going to take more money. I'm going to have to pay for the printer and I'm going to have to pay for the ink. And if I want them to look good, I'm going to actually have to go to a print shop because I'm not a master printer. I've been making pizza my whole life. I don't know anything about printing. So I'm going to hire somebody to do this. I'm going to hire somebody to make the design and I'm going to print out these coupons, or I guess I could just do them by hand, but that's going to take a lot of time. Somehow I get these coupons and then I go and hand them out to people. Now people will come in for my pizza. Oh boy. Oh, I'm so smart. Oh, Joe, you're a fucking genius. I just generate people coming in. Oh my God, I'm so fucking smart. And then they come in, and here they come. Here's the first one. He hands me a coupon. Okay, I have a Joe coupon. What do I do with this? Oh, I guess I got to make him a pizza. All right, now I got to spend more time. I got to use these ingredients that I had to get somehow. I didn't buy them with Joe coupons because the only person that accepts Joe coupons is whoever this fucking idiot is. Oh, that's me. So now I got to give out a free pizza to this guy and that guy and that guy. And now I'm out coupons. I'm out time. I'm out ingredients. And I have nothing to show for this.
But Joe, you were in debt because you made all those coupons and you handed them out.
Yeah, that's right. I was in debt. Yes, yeah. I went in debt and it was their surplus. Exactly. That's right.
And now you have all those coupons back.
Yes.
To throw in the pizza oven.
Exactly. According to Randall Ray, now I don't need them because they're not useless. They're useless to me because they originated with me. So now I burn them. That's right. That's right. And hang on. No. There's a whole fucking episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they do this and they print patty bucks. And they go out, and you don't have to pull it up. They spread them around, and they have this epiphany. They're like, wait a second. We're not making money. We're losing money. And yet this is what the MMTers are talking about. And this is just one example. I mean, these people are so incredibly fucking stupid, and yet they act like they have discovered the most incredible thing ever. It gets better. Here we go. Here's the next one. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go.
It's at the center. Inflation is the constraint. We're not removing the limits.
The true constraints on...
So at least they recognize that inflation is a thing. So I didn't know if it was ever going to come up. And this is way later in the movie. This is like, I want to say 60 odd minutes in, at least 45. It's well into the movie where they finally mention that maybe printing ungodly, obscene amounts of money and get ready for what Randall Ray said in this chat. I'll come back to that. Make note of that. Randall Ray, slaves.
Okay.
Government spending are the resources that are available.
Our people, our land, water, and agriculture, our factories, our infrastructure and transportation, education and technology, our healthcare.
All of us recognizing that we don't want punishing inflation.
Don't want to push inflation. Don't want that to get out of control. Okay.
And the MMT position is that the best defense against inflation is a good...
They do a lot of this buttfuckery with words. It's like, no. I'm not anally sodomizing you. I'm backdoor penetrating your rectum. Okay?
Or massaging.
Backdoor massaging your rectum. Backdoor massaging your rectum. That's so much better. It's like, is it? Because my asshole hurts. I don't really care what you call it. it's unpleasant.
Good offense. It's to think about it ahead of time. It's to consider before you allow a vote. If you want to do $2 trillion of infrastructure investment, what are the real resources that we're going to need? Where are you going to get the contractors and the architects, the engineers, the steel?
Yeah, those are all great questions. You're going to inject $2 trillion into the economy, and the question actually goes, where are you going to get the contractors and the architects and the engineers, the steel, the concrete, the machines? That's a great question. Where are you going to get those things? Boy, good questions. Some of the best stuff to come out of her mouth in this whole fucking thing.
Show me that you have access to the real resources. Or are you going to have to compete for those? And that tells me that you're going to be bidding up prices. If they say, if you do this $1 trillion without raising taxes, inflation will go to 3.5%. Then you go, whoa, okay, I need some offsets before we vote on this. You do it before the vote. And that's why it's so important to have a careful evaluation. And economists can do this.
And right there. It's so important to have a careful evaluation, and this is the kicker to the whole fucking thing. And economists can do this. Shit, I don't think I was clicked over. You go, well, okay, so here it is, whatever. She's saying this whole thing. That's why you do it. It's so important to have a careful evaluation, and economists can do this. Economists can do this. Really? Which god economist has the ability to know exactly all of these things? Which ones know where the weather is going to be, when it's going to be, who needs a job, why they need a job?
What public interest might be in a particular item, what trends might arise, what natural disasters might occur, any of these things. On
and on and on. Like one of these MMTers on Twitter that I went back and forth with, which yesterday was the first time I've ever gotten into like a debate or an argument on Twitter, and it's a complete fucking waste of time. Absolutely inane, utterly pointless, worse than pointless, because you're interacting with one channel of a person. A human being, even the most boring, even the most Stephanie Kelton, Randall Ray, any of these individuals, there's a broad spectrum of personality and ideas and all sorts of things. But when you're interacting with them, especially in text, you're only getting one channel. And you miss out on so much of the nuance. I imagine that if I were to sit down and talk to any one of these individuals, I could actually have a conversation with them. Would it go anywhere productive? Would it be useful? I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it would be a whole lot less heated and hostile than it is on Twitter, where you're just butting heads on these two individual points. It's like blasting one radio station into another radio station going, this is a better radio station. It's like, well, there's a whole lot of other stuff here, and maybe we should look at those other things and be able to see facial expressions, which is why text is such a horrendously bad way to express yourself, and especially with, or even more so, with people that you've never met.
Yeah, not only that, but on Twitter, you're given a platform, which gives the impression that you have an audience, and it's not just the person you're speaking with or interacting with, but beyond that, it's whoever might be reading the things that you're saying. And so
well, I don't really care about who else.
Well, I'm just saying that the motivation for each person to make a point seems to be, I'm going to make a point that I'm correct. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that in a face-to-face debate, but I think there's less listening happening.
Yeah, my goal was to just kind of berate and name call and make the person feel less. That was my goal. I wasn't trying to, I had no illusion to thinking that I was actually going to convince them of anything. I was just like, I want you to feel like the fucking retarded piece of ass slime that you are. So here's another one of these gems. Let's click over. Let's see here.
Congress has given the Fed a dual mandate. We want full employment. We want low inflation. Go get them, Tiger. We say the Fed, it's your job. They have one tool. What? The overnight interest rate.
I don't think you're clicking
Find
over.
the magic
Yeah,
interest rate.
this one over here on the right side is the one that is recorded. This is ready to go. So if I switch over, then now this is what would show up. This is just so I can make changes over here to like turn this off, and that won't show up. So when I switch over, so let's start this again. So the Fed, the U.S. Congress has given the Fed a dual mandate, kicking off from there.
Dual mandate. We want full
employment,
low
inflation. Okay.
Go get them, Tiger.
You got one tool to do this.
It's your job. They have
interest
one
rates.
One tool, the overnight interest rate. Find the magic interest rate that puts
the way she's talking to these people is like she is the only person that knows this. Like, look at the expression on her face and her body language. It's like, I know things that nobody else does, and you should feel beyond honored to share even the same air with me on this planet, let alone that we're in the same room. You have no idea the amount of intellectual wealth that I am bestowing upon you sad peons. Be grateful to all of humanity that you get to share a moment in time with me, because I am the most divine entity that has ever set foot upon this lowly planet. I am a god.
The magic interest rate.
Look how much I know. I'm so smart.
And balance.
No, you're not.
The Fed cannot tax. The Fed cannot spend. The Fed can only set interest rates. Interest rate policy is a very blunt tool.
I mean, you have to understand what the driver of the inflation is.
Oh, here we go.
When you have a water leak flooding your basement, you better identify the correct source of the leak if you want to solve the problem. Is the inflation coming from an increase in demand or a decrease in the supply?
Okay, those are the two options that they give us as being a cause for inflation. Is inflation coming from an increase in demand? Is it more people want this thing, or a decrease in the supply? But those are factors to an economic environment. Certainly, yes. I don't think anybody with any two fucking retarded peanuts to bang together and call it intelligence would deny that. Yes, supply and demand, of course. It's kind of the foundation of economics. But it's not the end-all, be-all for inflation. Come on, play.
Or a decrease in the supply of goods and real resources.
Perhaps from a global pandemic that disrupted factories, workers going to work, supply chains, and shipping. Perhaps it's severe flooding that cut food production in a country by 90%.
All right, so they don't talk about the entire problem being the printing of the money. And I made note of this earlier, and I'm coming back around to it now. Randall Wray made the claim in a chat that he did just earlier this year. Whoa, what just happened there? That we could give, in the U.S., every black adult that has ties to slaves, their ancestors were slaves, we could give them $800,000, and it would not cause inflation. I did some extremely conservative math the other day. I looked at the adult black population, and it said, according to the fucking AI thing that popped up, out of, what's the U.S. population? 380 million?
Hold on.
Okay, 333 million. Apparently, 41 million of that population, give or take, let's round up a little bit, 42 million is black individuals. And that's all ages. That's babies, newborns, just brand new into the world, all the way up to 90-year-old. It's the full range. Okay, so some percentage of that would not be considered an adult. You've got to go 18 plus. So I took 75% of the population, the black adult population, and we get whatever that is, 30 some million, and then I looked up how many black individuals can trace their ancestors back to people that were slaves. And I did not limit it. I didn't go even further to slaves here in the U.S. They're slave. They might have ancestors that were slaves in other parts of the world and had no tie to U.S. slave plantation owners, any of that. What the whole Civil War type thing. Well, the number I came up with after all of this is that around 6.25 million minimum black adults in the U.S. could trace their roots back to slavery. And it's probably a lot more than that, honestly. But let's just say it's that few. 6.25 million. If 6.25 million individuals were to receive $800,000 It's $5 trillion. And Randall Wray is saying that if we were to increase the national debt, but it's a surplus, it's a surplus by $5 trillion. So we go from basically just tickle $40 trillion in debt, that would not have an impact on the economy. It wouldn't do anything. It would just like, yeah, no impact at all, which is lunacy of the highest order. The problem, there's two main gripes that I have with this modern monetary theory thing that we kind of covered in these clips that we played here. Number one is that they haven't figured out anything new. There's no grand discovery here at all. They're just using different terminology. They're calling debt a surplus. They're just using tricky language to act like it's some new grand discovery. And they're bamboozling. I think the worst part about this is that they're bamboozling college students. And Randall Wray says we've got to start even sooner than that. It's part of the reason that he made his book a cartoon book, he says. And we got to get into the kindergartens, he says. You got to start influencing children. Well, anybody that knows anything about having a change that's lasting and to how to change the course of a country, as you start as young as possible, because then that child will go on to believe whatever it is he wanted to believe. So, yeah, of course, Randall Wray and the rest of these fucking statist pieces of shit want to have their ideas injected in as soon as possible. If they could put it into a syringe and jam it into the eyeballs and brain cells of babies still in the womb, I bet they would. I'm being ridiculous. I don't know that they actually would, but it wouldn't surprise me if they said, "Well, that's a great idea. We can do that. Sure, let's fucking do it." So that's problem number one, is that they have not discovered anything new and they're acting like it's some grand discovery and they're bamboozling people. It's kind of a multifaceted problem. The second problem is that their solution to all of this, their grand plan, is that some committee, some individual, some economists, I don't know who those individuals are or individual. I don't know if it's one person, a team of people. I assume it'd be a board. It would be some sort of new entity, some whole thing that is able to determine exactly how much money can be injected, and they know exactly where to put it. Hey, let's vote on this thing, because they accurately, the one thing that they accurately deduce from all of this is that inflation is a thing. Okay, they know that that's a thing, but they have absolutely no idea, or certainly they don't talk about it, that printing all of this money is what causes inflation.
It's interesting that they say the only tool the Fed has is changing the interest rate to combat or work with inflation. And that alone, they're arguing, is too difficult a thing to do for anybody. And yet they're suggesting this other fix that isn't really actually a fix, and ignoring completely that the Fed actually has control over inflation in printing money.
Well, I'm guessing, given that Stephanie's dismissal of that and saying how, oh, it's just ridiculous, is her complaint with the Fed being unable to do that, is that they only have one tool. She wants all the tools. That is what these MMTers want. If you give them complete economic control over everything, if you give them the CBDC with the power and the levers on every single aspect of your life, then we're good. They will be able to say, nope, you can't spin this, people in this region less, more people over here. And it would just be this whole board game. It'd be like playing some grand sim game, some Sim City, some Civilization, whatever. And they're there in the command center going, let's give more money over here and drain it out of these people's bank accounts, with no care at all that these are actual human beings with actual lives that are going throughout the day miserable because you just instantly drained their bank account. You wake up one day, I had $1,000. Next thing you know, you have $10. Where did it go? Doesn't fucking matter. It's none of your business. The gods in their ivory tower drained it because people over here needed it. And then the next day you've got $10,000. Why? You don't know. Better make use of it as quick as you can. Like, it's a game to them, and they want to be the ones in control.
Game. Sorry.
And they want to be able to control every single aspect of everything. And as soon as you give them control and the ability to do that, then everything is utopia. It's smooth sailing from there.
Well, they seem to have no problem with the government printing as much money as possible.
Yeah.
Like that's not an issue. Not an issue at all.
Not at all.
The issue is the government needs that money back somehow.
That's part of their thing, I guess, but she does go on to say, like, the 31, 34, whatever trillion dollars that we're in debt right now, she makes the claim that that's not a bad thing. That's a whole thing that I show there. It's like, oh, it's a big sigh of relief. It's a surplus. Isn't that so good? It's like, no, you stupid fucking ignorant piece of trash. I don't have a home. A car, the car that I have is 20 years old. It's a good car. It's a fine car. Like, I'm not worried about it, but the idea of getting a new car, or not even a brand new car, like a newer car for me, I would certainly buy used, is not really in the equation. The core problem here is that they think that the government is what makes money. The government does not make money. It's like I said earlier, they think that people are just standing around twiddling their thumbs. They even say, Randall Wright even says that people don't produce commodities until they have money. Like, what are you fucking smoking? You think that people are just not producing corn, not raising cattle, they're not making pots, they're not doing anything, they're not producing music, they're not writing songs, they're not writing books, they're not drawing, they're not doing anything until the government shows up and goes, you must use this money at gunpoint? Because there's only two ways. There is literally only two ways to transform your time and energy into something tradable. The first way is that you go and you work. You do something. You find some cotton, you grow cotton, you take the cotton fibers, you weave it into a thread, and then you roll it into a thread, or whatever you do. I don't know much about textiles, but I know that you take the cotton fibers and you somehow turn it into a thread, and then you can weave that into a textile. Now you've got fabric. You can cut that fabric into shapes, and you can sew that fabric with a different thread. And now you're making clothes. And hey, look, you are now the proprietor of a clothing shop. Okay, that's one way. Or the same thing with baking goods or raising animals and being a butcher. Like that's one way. The second way is at gunpoint. And governments are the only one that have a monopoly on violence. They can go around, they can print money, they can counterfeit their money as much as they want, they can produce as much of these paper dollars as they feel fit. They can do that. There's no limit to that. No one's saying that there is. There's not a hard cap on the number of dollars, and they're just racing towards it. No, that's not the case. It's just it's a black hole. It's infinite. They could 20 trillion, 10 trillion, a bajillion trillion. It doesn't fucking matter. It means nothing. But the number of goods that a society, that a globe, that a people, that a civilization can produce is limited. There are only so many hours in the day. There are so many people. There's so many man hours. There's so much energy, man energy to do things, which is why energy sources is such a boon to mankind. And if you have more energy, then it can, you can do, I was thinking about this. We took the car down, me and my brother took our car down to the car wash to get washed. And I wondered, how many hours is this doing right now? Is the machine? We went through the drive-through car thing. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering, if you were to have people out here with rags and buckets of water, how many people would it take to do this at the same rate?
Well, you've washed your car just by hand.
Mm-hmm.
And
you mean like truly by hand with a bucket of water, or like one of the car places?
I meant more at a car wash.
Because I have done it by hand, where you get a bucket, you go to your garden hose.
Yeah.
And it's an hour?
Yeah.
Maybe?
That's reasonable.
Now, remove the ability to even turn on the faucet. Let's say you have to go down to a river and remove the soap. You have to make the soap. You've got to get some ash, and you've got to get some fat. That like the way that people discovered soap apparently was where there would be cooking or sacrifices or both, and the fat would run off of the burning, and it'd run into the water and it'd mix, and they're like, oh, this is soapy kind of stuff. So you get the lye, and then you get the soap and the ash and the fat, and you've got soap, and people refined and perfected that, and now you can make bars of soap. And there's many different ways to make soap now, and there's all sorts of different types of soap, yes, but if you were to have to do all of that yourself, make the soap, go and collect the water to go and clean your car, it's so many man hours. Whereas now you've got these drive-through car washes. You just run up into the thing. You sit in the conveyor belt. The weird floppy octopuses and the blue dicks slap themselves all over your car. And then, hey, you go. Bada bing, bada boom. You've got a much cleaner car than you had 30 seconds ago or whatever long. I don't know. It's 2 minutes in the machine, if that. Like, there's no people. I mean, you'd have to have like 30 high schoolers out there doing their let's raise money to go to Washington, D.C. to see the Lincoln Memorial and jerk off behind the congressional office because that's fun to do, and go throw spitballs at Biden if we can find him. It's not hard. He's really bad at hide and go seek. You just go to an ice cream shop. There he is. Blum, blum, dump along.
I mean, you could say, devil's advocate, that there are people who are helping run the car wash. There are the attendants that take your money. There are the people that run the machines, turn them on. There are maintenance guys.
Yeah, but he's not doing hard labor. He's not sitting there scrubbing. There was the guy that when I pulled up, a guy said, "Do you want some blue tape on your rear windshield wiper?" Sure. Yeah, I put a big swath of that so it doesn't get ripped off. And then there was the guy like holding a sign like, "Okay, pull a little bit closer. All right, you're good to go." He wasn't doing hard labor. So, yes, there are people there. You are correct, but
it's fewer man hours still.
It's not just the man hours, the fewer man hours, it's what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're not like busting their ass. He could be on his phone and doing other things. Yeah, the energy required there. And so if you have an abundant source of energy, you can do more things. It requires less people to do those things. And energy is going to become more and more important as AI, you've got artificial intelligence doing things, but then also it seems like in the not so distant future, robotic machines, humanoid machines going around doing factory work, doing stuff. You need energy to do that. Well, where do you get the energy from? Well, there's a lot of different places. Nuclear is a pretty fucking good option. There's hydro. There's all sorts of different types of energy. The point here is that getting this energy requires man hours, and that takes time. It takes energy. And the idea that some elite group of economists knows exactly where to point all of these things is beyond absurd.
I think part of the problem is the definition of money from the people who are in that movie finding the money. Mm-hmm. They seem to have a completely different definition than you or I.
Yeah, like everything they're talking about is basically day one for a Bitcoiner. Like I don't think any Bitcoiner that has spent a minimum of even 20 hours is watching that and going, oh my goodness, I feel so much smarter for watching this. No, the whole reason I paid and rented to watch the movie is just like, is there anything good here? Like why is this guy, Mr. Bumble mumbling along about, is that what we do? I'm not sure. Economic advisor, chair of the council to Joseph Biden. If this is who's in the movie, like, is there more of this nonsense? Yeah, the whole movie is that level of nonsense. Like, they're on Twitter right now going like, we did it. Like, they're just high-fiving each other thinking like, we figured it out and now we've unleashed this upon the world and now they're going to come bashing our doors down to subscribe to this idea. You fucking clowns. All you did is show how insane and ignorant and stupid you are. Like, it'd be like me taking a fucking dragon dildo and being flexible enough, and I probably am, to repeatedly jam it up my ass and go, look, I figured out gay sex. I did it. I figured it out. And other people going, okay, I don't know what you're doing. First, okay, that's not sex, really. It's not gay sex. I guess if you want to say that because you're a male and you're self-pleasuring yourself, that I guess it's kind of sex, but that's not gay sex, and you didn't figure that out. Like, what do you do? No, I figured it out. I'm the one. Look, everybody, you're out on a street corner just like ramming your own ass with a dragon dildo going like, I figured out gay sex. Like, no, and stop. Like, the fuck are you doing? I did, and then like going around trying to high five other people that are doing the same thing. Like, yeah, we did it. We figured out gay sex. And it was just like, what is wrong with you? The fuck are you doing over there? Hey, high five. Oh. Ugh. What else we got? Got anything else in the Bustanomics thing?
We have so many things that we've touched on.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much you want to talk about.
Here, this one was kind of funny, wasn't it?
Oh, yep.
Oh, go away. Oh, shit. It's this. John Haar at Swan posted this. He says, this is MMT. I will force you at gunpoint to use the currency that I perpetually create out of thin air. Perfect. That's exactly right. Bitcoin. No one can create new units of money out of thin air. That's correct. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more here in a second. Kenzian, I like how this is exactly what he actually says here. It's literally word for word. Well,
I honestly thought that clip was satire.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
And I thought, oh, this film's going to be about making fun of people who believe these things, like that are as stupid as they are in the positions of power.
Mm-hmm.
I was really hoping that's what the movie was about. And I'm not on Twitter, so I didn't know until we started watching it. And a few minutes in, I was wondering, when are they going to say anything of substance?
This website is trash.
Oh, God. Yeah.
How does it get... Holy crap.
I don't know. It's kind of a trash website, period.
It definitely is. This is completely unrelated. We'll get into it here in a second. But on the point of that, where is it? He said, Bitcoin is money that no one can create. Is that what it said? Where is it? Yeah. So this right here. No one can create new units of money out of thin air. Okay, here's why that's so important and why it's so true. Because money is a thing that allows you to transact with other people. But what money actually is a transformation of time and energy. I can't just suck time and energy out of the universe and go, here it is. I have it now. I have time and energy, and I'm going to give that to you. But I can transform in an alchemical process. It's really fucking weird if you like. It's kind of like the bell curve. There's I do work for money, and then there's the middle. I guess that'd be the MMTers and whoever the Ponzi schemers, the hexagons and the shitcoiners and everybody else in the middle. And then there's where I'm going with this is kind of like the Grant Morrison, Frank Herbert kind of esoteric ideas, is that it is Jungian idea stuff here, that it is really weird that we take our time and energy and then get a thing that we transact with other people. And that is, in essence, our time and energy. So I go and do hard labor over here, or soft labor. I dig a ditch. I water a lawn. I help somebody build their home. I help somebody move. Okay, and they pay me something, and then I go and trade that to somebody else that spent his time and energy to take bits of metal, shape them into this form, and then put powder into it that I can then go and put into a magazine that's shaped kind of like a banana, and then I can go to a target range and go bing, 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 pling, 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 pew, 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 and have some fun. And it's really weird that I can go and have dug a ditch to eventually go ping, 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 and have some fun and smile when the cans of soda that I shoot go pachoo. Like, what? The fuck? So the important thing here with bringing it back to money is that no one can create time and energy. You can't. I don't. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. Everybody's got the same amount of roughly energy, just your own power. Like, yes, The Rock can lift more than I can. Usain Bolt is faster than I am. Yes, admittedly, there are some people that are they can do more. I'm not saying that, but The Rock cannot do so much more than me the way that the energy from a nuclear reactor can generate energy. That nuclear reactor and the homes that it powers and the thousands upon thousands of lights, maybe millions of lights, and the washing machines and the computers and all the things that they do, The Rock could never do that. I don't care how strong The Rock is. There's no bicycle that he can spin fast enough to do the same thing as the nuclear reactor. So a dam, a solar farm, a wind farm, not the greatest, but whatever, is absolute mind-numbing orders of magnitude more than what you or I can do.
Sure, but humans have unique abilities depending on the individual. There are some people who are really good at baking, some people really good at math, some people who are solid engineers, some people write quite well.
Yeah.
Some people use their words in a way that is appealing and they can make money by just talking. There are different ways to use our energy. And I think that because there are so many different ways, it's difficult to really put a number on the value. And that's the benefit of an economy, and one that works is if you have a consistent form of money, then the value of these different forms of energy that people are putting out into the economy,
or the result of those forms of,
sure.
Yeah.
Sure, that's figured out over time.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
But only through interaction.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And the key thing here is that, like I said, if you can't make more time and energy, which you fucking can't, I don't care who you are, then you should not be, and if money is a representation of time and energy, and it is, that's what it is. I don't care what the MMTers here say, it's a currency. No, currency and money, it's not the same. And if they don't understand this, then that's the first thing that they've got wrong. Like they don't understand that currency is a money, but money isn't currency. Okay? Let me say that again. Currency is money, but money isn't currency. Okay? Money takes many forms, but it is not necessarily a currency. Your home is money. Your car is money. But it's a lot easier to transact in a currency. You can transact with cars, and some people do, and some people have. You trade a car for another car. You trade a car or a collection of cars for a home, or a collection of stamps for a home, or a collection of stamps for Magic the Gathering cards, or Magic the Gathering cards for Bitcoin, or Bitcoin for pizzas. These are all monies, but they are not all currencies. But all currencies are monies, wherever they are accepted. You got it? And these fucking idiots over here on the MMTers here, it's just all the same. And so if I can make it, then I can make it. And if I can make it, then I become rich. Yeah, that's all they want. That is all they want. They want to be the ones with the fingers on the money printer, be like, I get stuff. I get stuff. Hip, hip, hooray. I get stuff. Okay.
And they seem to think that the creation of money means there is a creation of resources.
Yeah. And this is the same level of no shit, complete change of direction here. But according to this, forensic student reveals the two types of women predators target based on how they walk. And let's just pause for a second. This doesn't really give you any clues here. I don't think this is an actress.
It looks like an actress.
Yeah, I think she's...
But her facial expression, her body language is much different from the person in the middle.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it was chosen?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know where they got these images. I think she's a British actress. But anyhow, what do you think that the let's start here. What do you think that the way that a predator wouldn't go after a woman is? You got it? You got it in your head? You got an answer? Okay, great. What do you think at least one of the ways that a predator would go after a woman is? Do you have an image of her in your mind? Do you got a rough idea? Okay, here's the answer. The formatting on this website is, I don't understand what is going on here. It's horrendous. But the long and short of it is, and I'll read what they have here, it's the star. Essentially, women that were not selected gave off an energy that said, don't mess with me. I will put up a fight. And so they come up with a star system. Star includes stride. Walk with a natural stride to your body and not too far apart or short. So if you're doing like... and your head is down and you're just kind of looking all sheepish, that's not great because you look cowardly and weak and easy to attack. And then on the other end of the extreme is the kind of gangly, I don't know that I've seen people really walking that way.
Me neither, but I've taken longer strides, and I would say if I were to err on either end of the spectrum, I would prefer to err on the longer strides. Not bumbling around, but when I've walked with a longer stride than just normal, I've felt confident. So I think that's the key there.
Well, the key is your face, as we established early on in this episode.
Well, yeah, that definitely helps.
Yeah. But I guess when you're wearing the bag over your head, and the rest of you is fine. It's just that, yeah. So if you've got your hat on, like you usually wear when you go out with the veil and the whole thing that covers most of this, then, yeah, then I could see how if you're all, then you might be attacked. But then 2 seconds later, hat comes off and,
they're attacked.
Yeah, they're attacked. Exactly. Tall. So you got, this is star, STARR, STAAR. Tall, stand tall, keep your shoulders back and your chin up, assert a natural confidence and dominance to those around you. Okay, I don't know about dominance. I think it's just, I'm here, I know why I'm here, and I'm going to do some stuff, whatever that is. Go shopping, go down this road, whatever.
I think confidence is key.
Yeah. Arms. Swing your arms naturally by your sides. Avoid keeping them too close to your body or flailing them out of your natural range of motion.
Who's doing that?
Who's doing this? Blah. I suppose if you go real far, I've seen hooples in the area doing that where they just look crazy. I think that's a pretty good defense too.
I agree.
Awareness. Yeah, no shit. Stay aware of your surroundings. Oh, don't go down dark alleys in the middle of notoriously dangerous neighborhoods.
Maybe you don't stare at your phone while you're walking around.
Take notice if something feels off. Yeah, they don't note that here at all. Like, actually, don't be on your phone, you stupid fucking idiots. And then R's, relax. Stay cool, calm, and collected, and don't indicate to a potential attacker. I don't know how. Oh, you're a potential attacker. I guess everyone's a potential attacker until they are proven not to attack you. That if you feel or see something is wrong, don't indicate to a potential attacker that you feel or see something is wrong.
I'm guessing what the point there is if you think somebody's following you, if you think that you're in danger, don't change your behavior in a noticeable way. Don't change your facial expression. Don't
go like running off. Like,
yeah. Or don't, cowl or any number of things, because then that might signal to the person that they need to act fast and attack you faster. Where I don't know. Like,
I guess it depends on where you're at. I think that ties back into the awareness. If you are sensing that this person is picking up his pace and I'm feeling uncomfortable, maybe he's just picking up his pace because he wants to pass me by, or you don't even know if it's a guy. Maybe it's just a woman and she's on a jog, but you hear an approaching series of steps. I don't think there's anything wrong if you see an entranceway to a hotel up here or your home and you're just like, well, I'm going to pick up my pace and just duck into my apartment real quick.
Sure. No. Like, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Do you want to end with the video that I linked you?
Oh, let's see here. I'm just going to read this. It was probably something that I should have read at the very beginning, but I'm going to read it here, and I'm not going to edit it. So if you made it this far, I'm just going to go over some of the goals that I had written out here. I plan to make it really clear to anybody that cares to watch this shit show that I don't give much of a fuck how well it does. It's therapy, an outlet, a place where I can say what I really think without fear of losing my job. I will never monetize this channel. Let me say that again. I don't care if this hits 1 million subscribers. I will not monetize this. I do not want to be beholden to YouTube's ad stuff. I want to be able to say fuck within the first 2 seconds of recording if I want to. If I want to say fuck, cunt, retarded, COVID, whatever, and if they shut this down, okay, fine. I don't give a fuck. It was fun to do while I recorded it. I do not give a shit. I'm not here to impress anybody. If people ever want to become a sponsor, great. But I won't be doing ads through YouTube. And also, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want about your product. So do not contact me with something that you want me to shill or sponsor if you have any reservation that I might speak poorly about it or say something that you don't want me to say about it. If you have included on your list of things, do not say these things, go fuck yourself. I'm probably going to say those. I will probably say those things just to fucking spite you, because I don't play these games where you tell me don't do this and I'm not going to do this just so I can make $100 or $500 or $10,000 or $100,000. I don't fucking care. I've been homeless. I'll be homeless again. I do not fucking care at all. Go fucking sit on a pine cone and enjoy it, or don't. I don't care. Lastly, my goal isn't to get a bunch of subscribers. It's to get fans. Big difference. I would much rather have the same 10 people show up and have a chat in the comments every episode than get 10,000 views. Don't care. about the subscribers. I really don't. If they come, I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to say, no, get out of your blog, kick from the channel. But I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to be myself. I would much rather, as I just said, have a dedicated core of people that go, I actually enjoy this and I want to show up because I enjoy it, than have just fucking clickbaity things. The Bitcoin space does not need more of this circle jerking, standing around, let's all kumbaya, the fucking, no. There are a lot of people in the Bitcoin space that I am not a fan of, and I'm not going to go on a rant right here and naming all the different people that I dislike. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't give a shit. Nobody cares. I'm just a guy with some opinions. It doesn't fucking matter. But if it comes up or some news thing comes up about somebody, I'm going to say what I actually think. I'm not going to tiptoe and say, be careful about my wording because it might mean that I'm not invited to a stage somewhere or I might not get on so-and-so's podcast. I don't give a fuck. I do not care. All right, what was this? Randall Ray slaves. Oh yeah, okay, we touched on this one. Oh yeah, this is a good one. This is a funny one to end things on. This is great. I'm just gonna let it play a few times.
Might want to make sure it's up.
Yeah, I'm going to. Okay. Just let me get rid of me. There we go. We'll just end on this. Should just loop. So you got Stephanie Kelton and that Jared Bernstein. There you go. Is there sound on? Yeah. So this is what we do with the dollar. No, we do this. No, hang on. I'm so smart. I'm so good at talking. Where'd it go? What happened? Yeah, that's some good stuff. That is such a good summary of the movie, although Bitcoin never gets mentioned, but it's just kind of doing what it does. What this was. Like, why are they barefoot, for one thing?
It looks like
or is it just the dude?
Drunken-friendly
They're both
soccer
barefoot,
game?
yeah.
I don't even know that that's a ball.
Maybe not. Hey, I got it through.
Every time I see the ending, I want to watch it again.